English vocabulary learning channel. Welcome!
What do Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, Queen, Nirvana, and the Foo Fighters all have in common? Besides making your neighbors wonder why your speakers are rattling their walls, they all have inspired a vocabulary of their own. Today we're learning 15 rock and roll words you'll hear in documentaries, interviews, music reviews, and conversations between musicians. Even if you've never picked up a guitar, these words will help you understand the language of rock and roll. So grab your imaginary backstage pass and let's turn up the volume. Our first word is gig. A gig is a live musical performance. The word originally referred to any temporary job, but musicians, they adopted it to describe their performances. Here's an example sentence. My favorite band is playing a gig downtown tonight. Can't wait. Here's another. We played our first gig in a coffee shop. That's kind of funny. Every famous band had a first gig. Can you imagine Queen performing for, say, 20 people, and one of them only came because they thought it was karaoke night? Number 2 is frontman. A frontman is the lead singer of the group, or maybe the most recognizable member of a band. The frontman usually speaks to the audience, he introduces songs, and gets everyone pumped. Here's an example sentence. The frontman thanked the crowd for coming. He's one of rock's most energetic frontmen. Have you ever noticed this about a band? The drummer may be the one that's working the hardest, but somehow the frontman gets all the attention. I know, it isn't fair. Word number 3 is headliner. A headliner is the main act at a concert or music festival. They're the reason many people bought tickets. Here's an example sentence. The legendary rock band was the headliner. Everyone stayed until the headliner took the stage. Think of the opening act as an appetizer. Then the headliner? That's the big cheeseburger that's coming later. Word number 4 is encore. An encore is an extra performance after the scheduled concert has ended. The audience clapped and cheered until the musicians returned. Here's an example. The crowd demanded an encore. And another one. The band played 2 more songs during the encore. Of course, sometimes musicians already planned the encore. It's like saying, "Whoa, you guys want us back? That's cool. Well, since you insisted, here's a couple more songs." Word number 5 is amplifier. An amplifier, often called an amp, makes an electric instrument louder, sometimes much louder. Without it, your electric guitar would sound surprisingly quiet. Here's an example sentence. The guitarist plugged into a vintage amplifier. That had to sound sweet. Here's an example. He bought a new amplifier for rehearsals. If you've ever wondered how one guitar can sound loud enough to wake 3 neighborhoods, blame the amplifier. Attention music fans, before we go into word number 6, please take a second to hit that like button and consider subscribing. And then, let's rock on. Alright, here it is, word number 6, distortion. Distortion is an effect that intentionally changes a guitar's sound. It makes it rougher, heavier, and more aggressive. Rock music loves distortion. Here's an example sentence. She added distortion to her guitar. Here's another. The song begins with some really heavy distortion. Normally, we try to avoid distortion. If your television has distortion, well, that's a bad thing. If your guitar has distortion, that's awesome sauce. Word number 7 is backbeat. A backbeat is the emphasis on beats 2 and 4 in a song. It's one of the defining characteristics of rock music. You may not consciously hear it, but your feet probably do. Here's an example sentence. The drummer kept a steady backbeat. The drummer is the heartbeat of a rock band. You may not always notice the heartbeat, but without it, well, you know. Word number 8 is riff. A riff is a short musical phrase that repeats throughout a song. Many famous rock songs begin with unforgettable riffs. Here's an example sentence. The opening riff became legendary. Everyone recognized the riff immediately. Some riffs are so recognizable, you hear 3 notes, and suddenly you're pretending your broom is an electric guitar. Word number 9 is licks. A lick is a short musical phrase often used by guitarists during solo. Think of it as a musical sentence. Here's an example sentence. He practiced blues licks. Here's another. The solo included several fast licks. And just to be clear, a guitar lick has nothing to do with your tongue, so please don't lick your guitar. The guitar probably won't appreciate it. Word number 10 is power chord. A power chord is a simple guitar chord built mainly from 2 notes. It's easy to learn and incredibly powerful. Thousands of rock songs rely on power chords. Here's an example sentence. She learned power chords on her first day. Here's another. The song uses only power chords. It's proof that sometimes simple really is powerful. Word number 11 is jam session. A jam session is an informal gathering where musicians improvise together. Nobody knows exactly what will happen, and that's part of the fun. Here's an example sentence. They stayed after the concert for a jam session. Here's another. The musicians created new ideas during the jam. Can you imagine having a conversation where nobody knows exactly what they'll say, except everyone somehow understands each other? Well, that's a jam session, only with guitars. Word number 12 is repertoire. A band's repertoire is the complete collection of songs they are prepared to perform. The larger the repertoire, the more variety they can play. Here's an example sentence. The band expanded its repertoire. Here's another. They performed songs from their entire repertoire. Notice the pronunciation. repertoire, not repertoire. English sure likes to keep us guessing, doesn't it? Word number 13 is anthem. An anthem is a song that becomes deeply meaningful to many people. It's the song everyone sings together. Here's an example sentence. The song became a rock anthem. Here's another. Fans treated it like their anthem. An anthem isn't just heard, it's shouted. Usually by thousands of people who suddenly think they're professional singers. Are you one of those? If you are, hit the like button now. Word number 14 is roadie. A roadie is a crew member who transports, sets up, and maintains equipment. Without roadies, many concerts just couldn't happen. Here's an example sentence. The roadie changed guitars between songs. Here's another. The roadies worked all afternoon. They may not stand in the spotlight, but they're the reason the spotlight works. Hats off to roadies. Here we are at our final word. Number 15, virtuoso. A virtuoso is someone with extraordinary musical skill. Not just good, exceptional. Here's an example sentence. She's considered a guitar virtuoso. Here's another. The audience watched the virtuoso in amazement. Virtuoso practices for thousands of hours. So when someone says, "Wow, you're naturally talented," no, they're a virtuoso. You're probably forgetting about the years of practice that nobody saw. Yes, they are a virtuoso. Now, the next time you watch a rock documentary or read a concert review, you'll understand exactly what they're talking about. You might even impress your friends by casually saying, "Hey, that opening riff over the backbeat really elevated the anthem before the virtuoso launched into that incredible lick." Whether they'll invite you back to karaoke night's another matter. If you enjoyed learning today's rock and roll vocabulary, hit that like button and subscribe for more Whiteboard Doodle vocabulary lessons. In the comments, tell me, who's your favorite rock band all time? Maybe they'll inspire one of our future vocabulary lessons. Until next time, keep learning, keep listening, and keep expanding your vocabulary one word at a time.